Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So I tell you, it is not looking good at all for Hillary Clinton right now. I mean, it's horrible. According to an article from The Hill, the State Department has pledged to release more than 500 of Hillary's emails this weekend. And this is all after a federal judge in Washington demanded the Obama administration make 2 additional batches public before the end of the month. As a result, the State Department will be forced to release the final emails, approximately 3,700 emails, in 4 separate portions before March 1st. So this is really just looking absolutely horrible for Hillary Clinton. And I said this on the last show. I'll say at this show, look for Joe Biden to step into the race to save the day for the Democratic Party because, I mean, it is really just getting extremely heated up for Hillary Clinton right now. And we have another article here from The Hill where the GOP is starting to get more doubts about Marco Rubio. According to The Hill, congressional Republicans are reevaluating Marco Rubio's presidential campaign in wake of his dismissal showing in the New Hampshire primary and his disastrous debate performance that took place over the weekend. So, I mean, it's really just not looking good for Rubio either. And Rubio delivered this speech saying, don't worry, it's never going to happen again. I'm going to do absolutely fantastic, going to do wonderful in South Carolina. So that's what's up right now. And, you know, guys, you have Rush Limbaugh out there who has been saying, and a guy I really respect, love Rush Limbaugh, who's been saying that Marco Rubio is he's a pretty decent conservative. He's just a little bit messed up on amnesty. But, you know, sometimes you make mistakes. And my good friend Brian Fisher said that Marco Rubio isn't all that bad. Although he is pro-amnesty, he's not, you know, all that bad of a person. But, you know, I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon because Marco Rubio has still advocated for amnesty. All right, he is still an advocate for amnesty. He has said, he's on record as saying that even though we need to secure the border, we're not going to be able to deport 12 million people. Guess what? What does that mean? That means that you're in support of amnesty, does it not? I mean, it's not hard to translate that. It means that you are in support of amnesty. And guys, I'm sorry, you cannot be a conservative and support such a policy. You cannot be a full-fledged, flaming conservative and be in support of illegal immigration. As a matter of fact, I don't even think you can be a conservative and support illegal immigration, give people free citizenships, because you're basically working on the side of the Democrats, because not only are you hurting the country, but you're creating more Democratic voters. So, I mean, guys, I'm sorry, but I cannot support, I mean, if it would come down to Marco Rubio, yeah, I guess I'd have to support Marco Rubio. But, you know, I'm not going to support a candidate in the primary that is in support of illegal immigration, in so many words, and in support of amnesty. And you have Jeb Bush not long ago, it's probably several months ago, might have been a year ago or two, but Jeb Bush said that illegal immigrants coming across the border is what? It's an act of love, is what he said. So, I mean, guys, I'm sorry, but it's I can't get behind someone like that. And Marco Rubio has dismissed social issues, and now all of a sudden he's clinging to them. And he has dismissed illegal immigration, saying, oh, yeah, well, we'll secure the border, but we can't deport 12 million people. So he's wanting to grant amnesty like we did in 1986. Because Republicans were, at one time, a pro-amnesty party. At one time, there were a lot of conservatives that supported amnesty. But the thing, and Ronald Reagan was one of them, by the way. But one of the interesting things about that is that it had never been tried up to that point. It really hadn't been tried all that extensively. So when they decided to do it, guess what? Didn't fix the problem. They were supposed to secure the border in 1986. Never did it. They were supposed to grant citizenship to over 3 million illegal immigrants. Yeah, they did that. And guys, I'm telling you, it didn't work the first time. It's not going to work again. And if you're a real conservative, you look at history to make wise decisions in the present time. And they aren't doing that. Marco Rubio isn't doing that. He has special interests that I think are partially responsible for his position on illegal immigration. And guys, I mean, that's just the way that I feel about it. And not only that, Marco Rubio is presently at third place according to Real Clear Politics anyway. The Augusta Chronicle has a Rubio in fourth place, with Bush at 13%, and in second place you have Cruz. That's pretty solid there. Cruz is in second place in every poll. The highest that it has him is at 21% with the CBS News YouGov poll. The lowest it has him is at the Augusta Chronicle with 18%. So, with 18%. That's correct. Real Clear Politics has him at 9.7%, and once again, Real Clear Politics, just to explain that to all the people out there who aren't familiar with them, they basically average out all of the polls and come up with their own average of what they think it is. And according to Real Clear Politics, they have Cruz at 19.7% with Trump at 36%. And the highest that Trump is at is 40% with the CBS News YouGov poll. So Trump is definitely the front runner. Every poll has him at least at 14%. The Augusta Chronicle has him at 14%. The Real Clear Politics has him at 16.3%, with NBC, Wall Street Journal at 16%. And then you have the CBS News YouGov poll at 19%, which is the highest that Trump is doing there. And according to the CBS poll, they have Cruz at 21%. So, so Cruz and Trump are obviously the front runners in this thing, with Trump being the obvious front runner because he's way ahead of Cruz. And a matter of fact, I think that Trump just spoke at Clemson University too. So he's doing very well in South Carolina. And a lot of people are supporting him. It's really amazing how well he is doing. But, I mean, he said quite some time ago, if he would ever make the decision to run for the presidency, he would probably win. And so far, he's winning. He's doing just that. So Trump is doing pretty good. And we have another article here for you that I want to share with you. It's from the local 8 Now affiliate it's a CBS affiliate in Knoxville, Tennessee. And this 93-year-old Knoxville woman is voting for the first time in her life, and she is voting for Donald Trump. Now, this is from the CBS affiliate there. We're going to go ahead and play it for you. But it's quite fascinating to see how many people are turning out for Donald Trump.
When you're 93 years old. You first heard about Knoxville's Beta Quorum here on Local 8 News. And today, reporter Stephen Powell was with her as she cast her very first ballot.
It's a moment 93 years in the making that was over in a matter of minutes.
All right, you voted.
Beta Quorum voted for the first time in her life.
I felt real good.
Casting her ballot for the only man running she feels she can trust.
How about the gun-free zones on military bases?
Donald Trump.
He is a strong man, a strong speaker, and what he said, I had faith enough and believe in him that he'll do what he said.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Beta registered to vote back in July after Trump announced he was running. Since then, her story has gone viral.
This time I want to ask a Beta Quorum to come out.
Inspiring Trump to make a campaign stop in Knoxville, where she was a featured speaker. She's also on the ballot as one of his delegates.
That's a great honor to be a 93-year-old woman, and it's just an honor for me to be for Donald Trump.
She tells me the Trump campaign called her Monday night, asking her if she would vote early. She says the call made her feel special, so she showed up the first day the polls opened.
I voted early today because mine may expire, you know. Early vote, you know it's in.
Oh, wow.
She says she's fired up by his win in New Hampshire and feels confident he's going to win every other state during his run for the nomination.
He's never changed in his speech. He is strong enough to take the things that they say about him. It didn't bother him.
Now, Brita tells me she's done more than just vote for Trump. She's also been campaigning for him. She can't drive or move around too easily, but she's been working the phones, calling everyone she knows. Alan?
Yeah, and she's got some spunk, Stephen. And you mentioned she's also on the ballot as a delegate?
Yeah, that's right. After we first told her story of registering so she could vote for Trump, he reached out to her and asked if she would be a delegate for him at the state's convention. And yes, she voted for herself.
Of course she did. Beta says she's never signed up to vote because she never saw a candidate she was passionate about until now.
So that was out of Knoxville, Kentucky. She signed up as a delegate. I mean, that's really amazing there. And this is a 93-year-old woman that decided to sign up as not only a voter just for Donald Trump, but is even going to the extent of signing up as a delegate. I mean, that's fantastic there for her. Congratulations to her for voting. But another thing, by the way, I wanted to bring this up too. I'm sure many of you, if you've listened to this show long enough, you know who John Racy is. A friend of mine. He ran for Senate in West Virginia several times. And he's apparently running for, because I just read this in the Dominion Post, he's running for a delegate for Donald Trump out of Morgantown. And he's filed, according to a Dominion Post, or it's the DP Post, or D Post, I guess. And the D stands for Dominion. But anyway, he's running as a delegate for Donald Trump in the Morgantown area. And he's up against, from what it looks like he's up against Jacuz Williams, something like that, of Morgantown, filed as a delegate for the Republican National Convention and is presently uncommitted. So he does, I guess this person doesn't have a candidate yet. So basically, I guess if you're voting for him, you're just doing it because you don't like Trump. If that's the only one running, from what it appears to be anyway, that's the only one running against Mr. Racy there for that position. So, yeah, that's a race that we're seeing there. And that's, I guess, in Morgantown. I was hoping Mr. Racy would run for governor. I mean, that would have been really nice. He ran for governor one other time, I think, against, what's his name? Rockefeller, Jay Rockefeller. But, you know, I think I might be wrong on this. I haven't talked with him in a while, but I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I wonder if he is sort of looking, or just glancing, at the Senate position in 2018 against Joe Manchin, because Joe Manchin has been pro-gun control. He has been in support of all this social change stuff, and people don't like that. He just endorsed Hillary Clinton not long ago. So, I mean, West Virginia is fed up with the way that the Democrats have been treating us here, and they're not representing West Virginia values anymore. So I would not be surprised if John Racy would look into that and maybe decide, hey, you know what? It's time to run as a conservative again. And now West Virginians have woken up. They've realized that the Democratic Party is no longer conservative anymore. They've left them behind, and they're going to have to transition to the Republican Party. I would love to see that happen, and I would love to see John Racy get in there as a senator. I mean, he would just be absolutely wonderful. He would be really I think he'd be the greatest senator that West Virginia has ever had if he would get that position. And West Virginia would be absolutely blessed to have him as a senator. Because, and guys, I'm just going to tell you this. I mean, and you can say the same thing about Donald Trump. Look at Trump, for example, right? This guy, Trump, he has billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. Okay, he could just sit back and watch the cash come in from the empire that he built and not even have to worry about the little measly $400,000 paycheck that the president gets. Okay, he could just completely put all the world problems aside, doesn't have to care about anything, just sit back and count his money. But he's not doing that. He's running for the presidency. And that's one of the things that I think has been one of the most attractive things for some people, or most people, I should say, is because of the success that Donald Trump has had, and now he's wanting to take time to run for the presidency to make America great again, as he said. And by the way, I wanted to mention this to you guys too. Remember how I said that this has been tried before, make America great again? It happened with Warren Harding. It happened with Ronald Reagan. Now it's going on with Donald Trump. Ronald Reagan's actual campaign slogan was, "Let's make America great again," back in 1980. So I just found that out. I saw a Reagan poster from the 80s that was really, that caught my eye, and I saw that slogan on it. That's really neat. So Trump is basically running on Reaganism here.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time. Somebody had to say it.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? PowerSwabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with PowerSwabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try PowerSwabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at PowerSwabs. PowerSwabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one PowerSwabs treatment. PowerSwabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Show notes and segments from today's show will be posted at CaidenCowgerProgram.com. If you're on Twitter, just follow Caiden Cowger at Caiden Cowger.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. So Glenn Beck decided to go after Donald Trump again. Surprise, surprise. And this time it's over his Christian faith, Trump's Christian faith. Glenn Beck on Trump's Christian faith, according to Breitbart. Glenn Beck said that it's the biggest amount of bull that I have ever heard. That's Beck. Okay, and I fixed it a little bit for radio purposes. But anyway, so that's what Beck said. According to Breitbart by Michelle Fields, TV host Glenn Beck attacked Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump Thursday, saying that too many people are looking at Trump and believing that man has ever opened a Bible. That's the biggest amount of garbage I have ever heard. And once again, I'm fixing a little bit for radio purposes. Beck, the founder of The Blaze, spoke at a rally in South Carolina for Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz. I'm going to be very blunt with you here tonight, Beck said. Donald Trump is very dangerous in my opinion. Beck criticized those, my voice let out. Beck criticized those who believe that this country can be saved by a man who creates buildings, or gaudy buildings. He argued that Trump can't just come in and magically fix us. He's gone bankrupt 4 times. No, he hasn't. 4 of his several companies have went bankrupt, and the guy's created more than you can count. Okay, so this is just ridiculousness spread by the Cruz campaign. He said that you can't declare bankruptcy as a country. Yeah, you can. It's called a Great Depression, but that's not what we're saying here. All right, this man jump-started his companies. He took all the money out of his companies, declared bankrupt, put the money back into it, and now everything's fine. It's all hunky-dory, okay? So this is just so absolutely stupid. And by the way, Beck, you're really in no position to be criticizing Donald Trump and his Christian faith. Even if you think that he's not a Christian, you're not one either. I mean, that is a fact. Mormonism is not Christianity, okay? We're going to read out of the book of Galatians here, starting at chapter 1, going at verse 8. Verse 8 reads, "But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before in verse 9, so I say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you that ye have received, let him be accursed." So now, see what does that mean there? In Galatians chapter 1, 8 and 9, it means that when you create another gospel, if any man presents another gospel to you than the one that has been delivered unto you, which is this Bible here, let him be accursed. Well, guess what? That other man, the man they're talking about there, Joseph Smith, and people like Joseph Smith that claim to have, I have a New Testament of Christ. No, not in here, not a New Testament of Christ. Okay. So, I mean, guys, Beck criticizing Donald Trump for his alleged not Christian faith, not being a Christian, allegedly not being a Christian, I should say, it's just absolutely pathetic. And if you really want to go there, and if you personally believe Trump's not a Christian, then you would agree. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. Okay? So, Beck, get the plank out of your own eye before you start going after other people there. But yeah, so that's just my opinion on that entire thing. And by the way, if you really want to get on the issue of is Donald Trump a Christian or not, I addressed this in an article on CowgerNation.com with a specific title, Is Donald Trump a Christian? I explained through that thoroughly, and I think that it's a very good read, and I know that a lot of you guys would enjoy that. If you want to read it, you can go to CowgerNation.com, COWGER, Nation, NATION.com, and you can read that for yourself. It is, my opinion, even though I wrote it, I think it's a very good read, and it thoroughly explains that entire topic. But anyway, it's really just absolutely pathetic seeing how the Cruz campaign is just partnering with people like Glenn Beck of all people. I mean, it's really just pathetic. And on top of that, you have Mike Huckabee that's coming out and is hitting Cruz and calling him a lowlife and engaging in sleazy politics. So this is Mike Huckabee. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee is criticizing Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz for what he calls low-life, sleazy politics. Huckabee, who suspended his presidential campaign after a poor performance in Iowa, attacked Cruz's campaign for telling people on the night of the caucuses that rival Ben Carson would be dropping out of the race. I can attest to the fact that even in our campaign, there were many efforts to try and say that people shouldn't vote for me or Rick Santorum or Ben Carson. Huckabee said on his podcast this week, BuzzFeed News reported. The Cruz people said it would be a wasted vote and they should vote for Cruz. It wouldn't have made a difference for any of us, but it is the kind of low-life, sleazy politics people are truly sick of. Huckabee noted that Cruz apologized to Carson after his campaign spread a story that Carson had dropped out. But he added that Cruz deflected blame to CNN, and that's not true, like I said, claiming they had reported that Carson was out. Dr. Ben Carson, being a good Christian, accepted the apology on a personal level, but he didn't buy Cruz's claims of innocent intentions, Huckabee said. Now, in the regard, that's his words that Ben Carson's a Christian. I've got into the Seventh-day Adventist faith before, and they believe that. Well, how could I put this? They believe that the reason why black people are black is because white guys had relations with monkeys and animals. So that's where they think they came from. So that's that's the founder of their church that said that. So it's really just a disgusting background that it has, to be honest with you. But I mean, and it's sort of ironic, I think, that Carson's a part of it. But that's the truth about Seventh-day Adventism. So Jehovah's Witnesses, they're screwed up too. But anyway, here, and they both came out of the Advent movement. But as usual, Donald Trump was more blunt. He accused Cruz of stealing the caucuses and said there should be a new vote. Huckabee, and that's what Huckabee said. Huckabee has hit Cruz's campaign tactics in the past. And I also remember back when I was at the Kim Davis rally, I was there with, as Brian Fisher was there, good friend of mine, Jeff Reed, another good friend of mine, was both attended that rally as well. And I was actually talking about this with him too. I think it was with Brian I was talking to him about this anyway. And I think I might have mentioned it to Jeff, come to think of it too. But you might want to look for possibly Huckabee endorsing Donald Trump, because if that would happen, maybe Donald Trump could bring Mike Huckabee on to combat Hillary Clinton and choose him as a vice presidential pick or as a cabinet member. I mean, I don't know, somewhere in there. But that's what Brian and I both are looking for right now with Mike Huckabee. Because that would be very interesting. But anyway, so that's what we have going on there. And I've got to say, really with Ted Cruz, I'm really disappointed in him because I really liked him at first. I mean, I love the guy. I thought he's a great guy. I still like him. I like him as a senator. But just the amount of just dirty politics that this guy's been engaged in, it's really just disheartening for me. I mean, I don't understand how you can be, or claim to be, a Christian anyway, while also spreading absolute, complete lies about people. And that's a hypocrite. That is being religious and not having a true relationship with Jesus Christ. And I would hope that, this is just Cruz's staff and not him. However, if it is not him and it's just his staff, he needs to get a hold of his staff. I've told you that if Cruz fails this election, one of the big contributors to that will be his staff. It will be the flaws of his staff, because his staff is absolutely horrible. They really just, I don't think, know what they're doing, and it's very discouraging. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So that's just my opinion of Cruz. I mean, I'm disappointed in him. I'd still support him for president if he was a nominee, but I'm disappointed with Cruz. And see, here's another article. I'm going to read it for you when we get back, but it's verifying what I'm saying. Stay with us.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So, like I was saying earlier, Cruz's staff is just horrible. They're terrible. Guess what they just did? They created a television ad featuring a porn actress. Yeah, that's right. They created a television ad featuring a porn actress. And they just pulled it. But the ad was still created. And, yeah. So this is from Breitbart News. The Cruz campaign, or the campaign of 2000, basically Cruz campaign, has pulled an ad off the air after it was reported that one of the actresses is a softcore porn star. This is a Cruz campaign ad. The ad opens with people sitting in a circle at what appears to be a therapy group. They discuss how they have been lied to by the Republican Party and or by Republican presidential candidate Marco Rubio. The actress Amy Lindsay tells one of the people in the group, maybe you should vote for more than just a pretty face next time. Lindsay has appeared in many softcore porn films, including Erotic Confessions, Cardinal Wishes, Secrets of a Chambermaid, and okay, I'm not reading the rest of this. It's not good. But anyway, Cruz spokesman Rick Tyler told Breitbart News that the actress responded to an open casting call. Rick Tyler. Why do I keep hearing this stupid name? Rick Tyler, Rick Tyler, Rick Tyler, Rick Tyler. That's the communications director for the Cruz campaign. See, I should not know the names of the staff members of these people, okay? When they're doing bad... When the staff members are getting in the media more than the Republican presidential candidate, you have a problem, okay? That ticks me off. Really does. Because Rick Tyler, he's the communications director for the Cruz campaign. He's really just absolutely pathetic. And, yeah, so Ted Cruz probably isn't going to come on this show now because I don't like his communication director, and his communication director won't want him on a show where the host doesn't like him. So, by him, I'm talking about Rick Tyler, not Ted Cruz. But I'm telling you, they didn't vet these people. The actress responded to a casting call, Rick Tyler said. She passed her audition and got the job. Unfortunately, she was not vetted by the production company. And whose responsibility is that? Oh, the production company. Why don't you vet them? The production company, I guess they had the campaign know that of her, the types of films that she was involved in. They obviously, and this is what he said, we obviously would not have allowed her to appear in the ad. That's what Tyler said in an email to Breitbart News. Well, you know what? Perhaps you should actually vet these people. I mean, it's fine the first time, but when you do it time and time again, you go from being just shame on the person who did it, to shame on you, to being absolutely, gullible, to being blatantly stupid. Okay? And you are beyond the blatantly stupid phase, because this has happened so many times where the Cruz campaign has not vetted the people that they brought on. I'm sick and tired of it. It really is. It's embarrassing. Okay? Cruz's campaign is an embarrassment when it comes to his selection of staff members. So, I mean, guys, I really am. I'm disgusted with it. The actress told BuzzFeed Nude. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? I'm sorry, I meant BuzzFeed News. Oh my, okay, we're going to move on. That was a little rough. I didn't mean to do that. I honestly didn't. The actress told, gosh, okay. We're going to get back on topic here. The actress told BuzzFeed News, N-E-W-S, that she is a conservative. Okay. So prior to the Cruz campaign pulling the ad, Lindsay told BuzzFeed News, N-E-W-S, in a phone interview on Thursday that she is a Christian conservative and a Republican. Well, I surely hope and sincerely hope that she does not appear in that stuff anymore. Well, let's continue reading here. While she emphasized that she did not do hardcore stuff, she also appeared in non-erotic films, blah, 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 blah. Lindsay said she thinks it's cool that an actress who has appeared in softcore porn could also appear in a Cruz ad. Okay, wait a minute here. If you're claiming to be a Christian, then you're supposed to avoid all appearances of evil. I can't talk now. Of evil. Is that not what it says in the Bible? Avoid all appearances of evil. So, why are you involved in that? So basically, it's a misrepresentation of Christianity. In a cool way, and this is what she said, in a cool way, then, hey, then it's not just the same old white Christian bigot that people want to say. It could be maybe a cool kind of open-minded woman like me, she said of people supporting Cruz. So that's what she's saying. So it's cool to be a Christian and be a porn star. That's what this Cruz campaign raised up to the top. A Christian in quotation marks, Christian porn star. Have you ever heard of such a thing? I mean, we hear of gay Christian and stuff like that. You cannot be a Christian and be gay. You cannot be a Christian and be a porn star. You cannot be a Christian and be a fornicator. You cannot be a Christian and be an adulterer. Because when that happens, when you are not saved and you identify as that by your sin, then you are making that sin a part of you, and it's an oxymoron, okay? You cannot have a little bit of righteousness and then have a little bit of sin, okay? The Bible says that when you become free from sin, you become a servant to righteousness. You dedicate your life to righteousness. You dedicate your life to serving God. When you separate yourself from righteousness, separate yourself from God, you become a slave to sin. That's what the Bible says. So, no, you cannot be a Christian and be a porn star, all right? Let's get that through our heads right now. I tell you, guys, it's really just disgusting. But once again, the Cruz campaign does not vet the people. Does not vet the people whatsoever that they raise up. And it's so absolutely despicable. It really is. Have you ever heard such a thing? Have you ever heard the amount of just pure garbage that is coming out of the Cruz campaign right now? I have not. And conservative talk radio, my colleagues in the conservative talk radio industry will say, well, yeah, it's all because Ted Cruz, there's just this big movement out there to take out Ted Cruz. Okay, yeah, while there is, Ted Cruz is doing this to himself. When you're not vetting the people that you're bringing onto your campaign staff, especially when you think that everyone's out to get you, and you're not vetting these people properly, that's despicable. And you're so naive, you shouldn't be in any leadership position whatsoever, if that's the case. But, I mean, guys, like I said, it's happened time and time again. They hire people without vetting them. I mean, we have this now. Well, the production company should have done their job. You should have done your job and researched the people that were appearing in the ad. Oh, my gosh. I tell you. I thought Ted Cruz was better than this, and I thought he would do better than this, but apparently he's not. And, you know, I have told you that I am down to Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. I despise Trump's foul language. I disagree with Trump's foul language. I don't like that at all. But I also can't stand a liar. I can't stand someone who is gullible, who is a liar. I can't take that. So, I mean, I'm just saying, the more stuff that I'm hearing about the Cruz campaign, the easier that decision between Trump and Cruz is becoming. And Cruz better step up his game if he wants to continue getting votes, because there are a lot of people that see this stuff and they are being turned off by it. And it's very hard to make an argument that you are the Christian candidate, like Ted Cruz has been identifying as, in so many words, as the Christian evangelical candidate, when he is hiring porn stars to appear in his television ads. So I'm sorry, that's really just not all that great, and especially considering that, you know, back several years ago when Ted Cruz was exiting high school, I believe, or was in college, I forget what it was, he was a young kid. He said that one of his dreams was to be in one of those types of films. Then when he turns around and hires one like this, I mean, that's really damaging to his reputation among the Christian evangelical community, because that was another thing that was presented and brought up by a lot of evangelicals out there, that where Ted Cruz said that he would like to star in a film like that when he was younger. I mean, when you're a Christian, you don't do that stuff. And now that he's hiring someone like this that says that you can be a Christian and be a porn star, what's wrong with you?
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So, there was a thing that I brought up to you on the last show. I want to bring it up again. And it was the debate intro that took place at the last Republican debate. It was in New Hampshire. And you had Ben Carson. His name was called out. Poor Dr. Carson. Didn't hear his name mentioned. And then, all of a sudden, you have Ted Cruz that comes out, just passes Ben Carson. Rather than saying, Dr. Carson, you need to go on out. They called your name. Go on out. I'll go after you. Didn't do that. Ted Cruz just smirked, tapped him on the shoulder, and walked on by. Marco Rubio did the same exact thing. Just smirked, walked on by. But meanwhile, here comes Donald Trump. Donald Trump comes out, sees that Ben Carson is still there. Donald Trump's name is mentioned, and he says, nope, I'm not leaving you behind. I'm going to stay right here. Taps Ben Carson on the shoulder, starts talking to him a little bit. Doesn't say anything. Just talks to him a little bit and says that he'll go after him. Waits. Jeb Bush taps Donald Trump on the shoulder, just walks on by, and Trump stands there, and he waits with Ben Carson. And he waits all the way. Like all the other candidates just pass by Carson, allow him just to remain there, clueless. And Trump waits for Ben Carson's name to be called. And then, after Carson's name is called, then Donald Trump comes out. And then John Kasich follows behind Trump. And then they call John Kasich's name. So, I mean, guys, that really displayed that backstage personality there that we saw. We were able to see what they were like backstage, their personalities. It really displayed the difference between Donald Trump and the other candidates. Because you have where Donald Trump is being considered this guy who is this meanie, he's an arrogant jerk. But then you have all these other candidates that leave poor Dr. Ben Carson behind. Just pass him, loop him up. And they don't try to get him out. They don't say, after you go first. Your name was called first, I'll go after you. They don't do that. Donald Trump does. They're arrogant. You had Christian Cruz, is what they're calling him. Christian Cruz, that just passed Ben Carson. Didn't say, going up, it's your turn. And instead, they leave him there like a child. And it's really just, it was awkward. It was an awkward moment. And I felt bad for Ben Carson. But, you know, that was sad. Because when Carson didn't hear his name called, I'm thinking, okay, the acoustics in there must be absolutely awful or something. Something has to be going on. But I just found that entire experience there very telling of what the candidates' personalities are like on a level that isn't public, on a private level. Because, you know, if I was running for the presidency, and I'm sure that many of you guys out there, you're the same way. If someone was called before you and they don't go, you just tell them, you first. You first, go ahead. Your name was called before me, so you go first. You don't pass them up. And that's what everyone else did. But Donald Trump stayed behind with Ben Carson. Wouldn't go until Carson went first because his name was called first. And I thought that really displayed leadership material. Because Carson, he was so awkward there, didn't know what to do, so confused. And Donald Trump just walked up to him and started talking with him until his name was called. And then when Carson's name was called, Trump's name was called next. And Trump even waited for Ben Carson to get to the podium. And then Trump made the decision, all right, now I'll walk out. And then they called Kasich after that, and that's what happened. So it was really very telling. It really was to me because I was just monitoring all that. So, guys, anyway, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you. God bless and God save this nation.